Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. I'm going to show you step by step how to create such a poster for your Valentine's Day event. Let's step into Photoshop. Let me show you how to do it. So you go to new and then you go to this new document, go to this side and you can see the tab over there, go to print and then you're going to find A4 sheet. Okay, but if you don't know the dimension, millimeters here, 210 and then 297 here, let's call it just poster, or maybe vows poster, depending on how you want to say it. 300, everything like this, leave it like that, and then click on create. Now we also want to go to view and then want to set our guards. I'm going to set it to 8 across the board. Okay, and then I'm going to set this side, this side, I'm going to set it to 0. Okay, I'm going to set this side to 0, and then that is basically it. Okay, this side has to be 8. All right, so that is it. Okay, so this is what we have now. Also guys, I'll try as much as possible to explain every concept step by step. Okay, but the first thing I want to do is I want to go and look for a solid color, and then I'm going to use this color code E6. Okay, it's kind of grayish. That's what I'm going to be using. I also want to bring this over there, and I'm going to release it here, and then let's say I want to, let's click on enter. I'll go to filter, I'll go to blur, then I'll go to motion blur. I'm going to set the angle to 0, and then over here at the distance I'm going to set it to 2000. All right, and I'll click on OK. Then I'll try and then move it up a little bit. Okay, I'm also going to set the opacity here to 63. That might do for now. Okay, I might even give it a mask over here. You can see I'm coming down. I'll give it a mask over here for the meantime. Then I'm going to put them in a group and I'm going to call it BG. Okay, so for the meantime, this is what we are going to have for the background. We also want to jump and then go and bring in our photo. I'm going to drag it all the way in there and then release it. Okay, I think this is a perfect position for it to be. I'm going to keep it like that. I'll keep it in a group and then I'll call it photo. All right, so that is it. I want the details to be on top here. That is how I want the composition to be. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to bring in my text or the theme. Great. Then I'm going to maybe keep it somewhere here. I also don't want to be too big, so I'm going to maybe keep it like that. Great. Keep it somewhere here. Feel like it should come down a bit more. All right, so that is it. And then if you wonder how I got this and you wonder how you want to do it, guys, there's a video I'm going to leave in the description. Find out how you can do it. There's a video to explain to you step by step how to get this done. Okay, so I'm going to bring the next item, which is this. I'm going to drag it into Photoshop and I'll release it. Then Control and then Shift, or Alt and Shift, or just Shift, depending on the version of Photoshop you are using. Great. So I'm going to position it there like that. Sweet. Okay, so I like how it is over there, but we need to make it more photorealistic, so we need to add some drop shadow to it. So I'll double click on the layer and then we'll try and then do one or two things over there. So let's go to drop shadow over here, and then let's see what can we do to it. Let's set it to 52. Great. And then let's set the angle here to 90. Let's set the distance to 0, and then the spread, let's set it to 22, and then let's set this to 106. All right, so let's check it out. Good. You can see how it fits there nicely. I think this is great. We're going to put it in a group. We are going to call it the theme. Now once we are done with the theme, we want to also bring in the logo. Okay, and then this is the logo. Okay, this is the logo I am using. So what logo do you want to use? Okay, so let's see. Yep, it falls in the middle nicely. I think this is great. What else can we do? Let's put it in the group. Let's call it logo. Then let's close it. Everything is beginning to form nicely. We need to add the rest of the details there, and to do that we need to type there. And then I'm going to pick this. Okay, so we're going to paste it there, and then over here. Now the font I'm going to be using is Montserrat. Okay, so from here you can just play with the details, the size, until you get the size that you are looking for. All right, so that is how it's going to be like. I also like to keep it a little bit bolder, so let me use semi bold. Good. And then you also want to keep it in the middle. You want it to be in the middle of the, to keep it balanced and then really nicely aligned. Now we also want to duplicate it, and then you want to pick in those individuals. Whatever is going to happen over there, right? Paste game. So we're going to have games as well, so I'm going to paste it there. Now, but for game, I'm going to pick over here. You can see on my tools section, I'm going to pick the rectangular shape, and I'm going to draw something like that. Great. I'll drag it down. Nice. Now I'm going to double click it, and I'm going to pick this code. I'm going to pick 91234 5. Good. I'm going to pick that. All right, and I'm going to change the games here to color. Let's say color white. Good. And then if possible, what else can I do to it? If possible, I think for the meantime, I'm going to stick with this one. All right. Even the size, let's set it to 14. I think so. Let's reduce it a bit more. Good. Now we also want to make sure the games falls in the middle of everything. So I'm going to put it in a group. I'm going to call it game. Now I'll duplicate it again, and then I'll bring it there like that. Now because this is really small, you want to zoom in and get the details right. I'm also going to pick photo shoot, then I'm going to paste it there. Good. Hold shift and then move it. Good. Then I'm going to resize that one too to fit. Nice. Good. I'm going to duplicate that. So you're beginning to see how I'm doing it. Yeah, that's basically this. Almost like the most difficult part of it. Aside that, I mean, call this one also photo shoot. Okay, trying to name the layers. So that's the most difficult part of it. Aside that, is the rest are quite easy. Just trying to make sure everything falls in place. All right, so I'm going to duplicate this as well, and I'm going to pull it there. Then I'm going to call it gifts. Okay, so I'm going to paste the gifts on there. Then I'm going to paste this over here. You can see the gifts is showing. Great. Then I'm going to hold this and I'm going to pull it there nicely. So we have everything basically neatly done. Now what you want to do is, it doesn't always work, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't do that, right? So okay, let's good. So I'm going to pick the bonding here. I'm going to put the bonding there, and then photo shoot. I'm basically kind of using my eye to do it. Okay, so I know you have a better way of doing it. You guys are good. Okay, you guys have a better way of doing it, so that's the good thing. All right, so from the eye, this can be seen as really, but it's too, guys, it's too, yeah, I like the space now. This space is better. Then I'll pull bonding. Yeah, this space is better. Yeah, that space is better. All right, so I'm going to put it all in a group. I'm going to call it what? Details. Oh, you're not yet done. We still want to pick our rectangular tube, and then we want to draw a rectangle around it. Okay, that's it. Now this rectangle, we also want to double click it so that we can have access to the layer style. So we want to go to gradient overlay. That's where you're going to do whatever we want to do over there. And so we're going to double click here, and we're going to give it 2 codes. Okay, so the first code we are going to give it is D50F00. Nice. Second code we are going to give it, let's double click it, is FF9123. Great. Awesome. But then we're also going to make sure the opacity is 100, everything here linear, that's good. But then the angle here, let's give it 5.6. Great. And then the scale, let's give it 5.5. Great. And then let's see, and I feel like the scale should, let's take this off. All right, so something like this. Let's drag the scale down a bit more. Something like this is good. All right, so I like it that way. I also want to, with the rectangular tool selected, let's go to properties, and then let's give it 60 here. Nice. Now you also want to open the details and drag it all the way down. This is how it looks like. And then the text over there, I want you to change it to color white. For the meantime, let's see how it looks like. This is good. You can also drag the text down a bit more to make it interesting. Now we also want to select everything in the folder with the exception of the rectangle itself, and you want to position it in the middle of everything. I think this is better. And then let's also position the rectangle also in the middle. So basically we are trying to align everything. Now you can see it works perfectly nice. All right, so that is with the details over here. We are done with it, but I want to drag it underneath the theme so that when we push it up a little bit, it will look like a 3D effect. Okay, so we are done with that as well. What else do you think we can do to this? Now, to make it much more interesting, we need to add more motion blur. You can see there's a line over here. We don't want to see that, so we're going to click here, click on our brush to make sure our caps lock is off, increase the size a little bit more. Okay, and then go for soft round brush. Okay, we are using this brush, soft round, and then maybe mask, set this color to color black, and then mask here. Okay, you also want to mask this side. We don't want this side to show. Mask this side as well. You don't want this side to show. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so this is good. The other thing is, like I told you, we can add motion blur to it to make it nice and interesting. So I am going to pick this. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rotate it a little bit and then maybe make it a little bit smaller. Okay, something like this. Then I'll go to filter, I'll go to blur, and I'll go to motion blur. Now this motion blur, I'm going to set the angle to 0, but I'm going to set here to 89, and I'm going to just make it vary as we move on. Okay, so for now, what do I think I can push it? Maybe I should keep it like this and keep it somewhere here. Yeah, I like the way it spills over there nicely. Maybe I could duplicate it and then sorry. So this is the one we duplicated, right? Yeah, we want it to be quite smaller. Good, we can keep it here like that. Then we can duplicate it again. Control J. We are using Control J to duplicate it. Okay, guys, do not forget that. And we'll rotate it a little bit to change the angle. We'll keep it somewhere here. Nice. We could even do one more. Okay. And then we can move it here. But for here, we're also going to do what? We are going to rotate it again. Okay. So this alone is, it makes it nicer because there is what, motion blur in it. We're going to drag this also there again, and then with this we're going to increase the size a little bit, and then we're going to push it somewhere here. Okay, we want it to come inside a little bit. Now we can also go to filter and we'll go to blur, and then we'll go to what, motion blur as well. And then with the ring, we want to keep the blur 106, 105, or 10 something. Okay, and I think this is great. This is great. Okay, so we can put this in a group. We can put this in a group, and then we'll call it motions. I like to see motions over there. Now we can also add a date in there. And how can we add a date? First, let me just type the date itself. Okay, let me go and bring in the detail here. This is the date, and I'm going to paste it there. Let's see. Good. And for the date, we are using Montserrat as well. We are using we want it to be very, very bold, so we're going to use that. And then maybe we can give it any font size you want, but just make it a little bit bigger. Okay, now because here is 25, I'm also going to keep here around 25 and then see whether it's going to be nice. Okay, now I feel like it is too much, so I'm going to push it in a bit more. Okay, maybe around 20 would do. Good. And I also want to keep it middle aligned. Good. The other thing is that I feel like I can rotate it and then keep it somewhere there. Also, what I can do is I can put something under it. So I'm going to push this under it. Okay, I'm going to push it there. All right, keep it underneath it. Great. And then I'm going to keep this text color white. Exactly. And I can even double click it, and then what I can do is that I'm going to give it a drop shadow effect. I'm going to keep the opacity 52. I'm going to keep the angle 90, and then I'm going to keep here 12. Then I'm going to keep the spread 38. Then I'm going to keep the size 8, just smaller. Okay, and already stands out for me. Okay, so but we are also not done. We still want to make it more realistic, so I'm going to pull this one in there. That's this ribbon, and then I'm just going to mess with it. Okay, just mess with it. That's all. Just mess with it. Okay, so now I'm going to drag it underneath it. Okay, so I think this is good, right, guys? What do you think? This is good. Let's put it in a group and then let's call it date. Now also, guys, let me know in the comment section your suggestions, your comments, everything. Just let me know in the description. Okay, I love you guys. Let's continue. The time we can take advantage of the time, and then do one thing. Okay, now the reason I'm saying is we can take advantage of the time is because we want to write the time somewhere. These details is preventing us from writing stuff there, but then you can see we have this over here. I'm going to take advantage of it and write my time there. All right, so that is what I'm going to use, and then maybe I can even increase it bigger so that it can be very, very pronounced like this. Okay, then I'll duplicate it, Control J to duplicate it. Then I'll pick my PM, then I'll paste it there. Now with the PM, I could drag it down if I want to, and then even that I could even make it smaller. Okay, yes, but then I'll delete the 6 from there, and then I'll drag it there. Okay, put it in a group, and interesting enough, I can come and hold Alt and drag this effect and paste it there, and then it will also reflect over there. Now, just like I did to this, I also want to rotate that. All right, we could even make it much more bigger if we could make it much more bigger if we want to. As if we want to. All right, and then push this one closer to it. Nice. All right, so I think that is done for now. What else can we do to make it epic? Because now we are done with this, let's call it time. All right, so that's time. And then the venue, there's no place else to put the venue, so I'm going to put the venue beneath here, and that will mean that I will have to draw that. Okay, and then make it color white. But because I want this motion to show, I'm going to drag it underneath motion so that this motion will show. Then I can just paste the venue there. All right, so Control V to paste the venue there. Now the venue doesn't have to be this big. Okay, we can make it any figure we want. Just have to make sure it can do what it can go there. And then the color, I don't want it to be black. No, I don't want it to be black. So I'm going to set it to extra bold. I'm also going to set it to color red for now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click it and select this side. Then I'm going to set it to black. And on top of that, I'm going to make it medium. Good. Then I'm going to make it all caps. And also I'm going to make it all italics. Nice. Then Control H, Control T, we want it to be middle centered. All right, middle centered. Let's call it, okay, now you can see this side is really blocking, so we're going to push it here a little bit more so that all the text can show. We are going to put it also in a group. Let's call it venue. So I believe we are done with the venue. Now also one more component that we have to add to this to make it epic, that is glow. And glow, I'm going to go all the way up. I'm going to give it that, and I'm going to click on my brush tool. Then I'm going to come and pick the gray background. Make sure my caps lock is off. Then I'll click somewhere here and I'm going to set it to screen. I'm going to set the opacity here also to 37. Nice. Now I'm going to drag it here. Okay, that alone makes it epic. I'm going to duplicate it by clicking on Ctrl J, Ctrl T to transform it, and I'm going to push that there. Okay, now you can see it looks subtle, but guys, it just adds reality to it. We are not done with it. Let's go and bring this one. Let's drag it there. Then wait, did it come? Yeah. Right click it and then counterclockwise. Good. And then flip it horizontal. Good. Now we're going to keep it like this, and then we are going all the way here and we're going to set it to screen for now. Let's see. Okay, so we can see everything is there. Okay, but what I want to do now, I'm going to drag it here like that. What I want to do now is to make the opacity a little bit 48%. So what happens is that it's still in there, but then it's a little less subtle. Okay, then now we can add one more effect, that is color red. That's one more glow. I'm going to click here and I'm going to set it to screen. I'm going to click on my move tool, and then where's the red? I'm going to move it somewhere here. Nice. Duplicate it again. I'm going to bring it somewhere here. Great. Duplicate it again. I'm going to bring it somewhere here. All right, so that is for that. I'm going to put it in a group. Then I'm going to call it glow. We are almost done with it. Everything is rightly put. Everything is in place. But then we want the contrast to really come out. So I'm going to just create a new curve. And what I'm going to do is I'm going here and I'll just go and set it to soft light. That is all. The blacks really, guys. So now remember the effect I created some time ago. I'm going to leave the link also in the description for you. Okay, so what's going to happen is that effect, you are going to delete the paper textures that I created over here. Delete them. Okay, once you delete them, I'll just mute this one and then click on the curves. Control Alt Shift and then E to merge everything on one layer for you. Right click it and convert it to a smart object. Okay, and then I want you to just hold this one and drag it on top of that one. Good. Then I want you to delete everything else in that box. Okay, all right, so this is it. The effect is just this one. I'm going to give it linear. Great. And then one more thing, I'm going to create a hue and saturation. Then I'm going to clip it to it, and I'm going to drag the saturation all the way down. Okay, so let's drag it into the effects. Okay, good. So now guys, this is it. You can see the difference. This is it. All right, so guys, this is it. This is how you create something like this. Now if you love this video, please hit the bell icon, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to also comment as well. I love you guys. See you in the next video. Peace out.